Dia
Amin.
tak perlu apa-apa pun. Kalau just few words of encouragement, few words of ni kan, word of confidence pun dah sejuk hati. Kita sebagai jiran ni kan adalah orang baru, berantau, jauh daripada keluarga. Alah, sedih lah pula.
I don't know what other word to use than giving the evil eye lah. Macam pandang semacam, like dia pandang dekat Hans, pandang dekat saya, pandang dekat, as if she was
waiting for you to
for me
tegur
to
Hans.
reprimand him or tell him to stop or
Yeah.
tell him not to do. And I wasn't in the best mood that day, so I told myself, Desiree, don't say anything. This is one of those times.
Okay.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Get on with your day and leave.
Assalamualaikum. Hi. It is episode ke-40. Can you imagine?
Yep.
Episode ke-40. So here we are, kita Family Podcast. Susah nak percaya, saya sendiri macam terkejut kita dah sampai kepada tahap ini. Anyway, sepatutnya I should begin by introducing the podcast, right? So kita di family di sini membincangkan perihal yang berkaitan dengan makna serta kepentingan hidup bermasyarakat, menghargai keunikan sesama kita, meraihkan masyarakat yang berbilang agama, kaum, kepercayaan rupa dan sudah tentu dari segi keupayaan. Kita menghargai hidup secara inklusif yang mengambil kira kepentingan segenap lapisan masyarakat, terutama bagi mereka yang berkelainan atau kurang upaya. So that is generally what kita family is about. Dan pada hari ini kita mempunyai satu lagi topik yang bagi kami sesuatu topik yang insyaAllah dapat dimanfaatkan oleh semua yang mendengar, terutamanya yang bukan neurodivergent dan bukan dari masyarakat kita, bukan dari komuniti kita. So actually this topic today is for all of you who are not yet part of the community, tetapi mungkin kita nak mempelawa supaya joinlah bersama-sama dengan kami. Kerana pada hari ini kita akan berbincang bagaimana kita boleh sebagai ahli masyarakat biasa, sebagai seorang rakyat Malaysia yang biasa, sesiapa pun dapat menghulurkan sokongan, bantuan atau menjadi sebahagian daripada komuniti masyarakat yang terdiri daripada individu neurodivergent ataupun untuk keluarga yang mempunyai individu neurodivergent. So we want to talk about how you can support, how you can embrace the community and come and join us, okay? So today, quorum kami tak cukup 5 tapi ada 4. Saya Nuri, I'm gonna kind of try to moderate the discussion today. Di studio, di sebelah kanan saya paling dekat, Anit.
Hello, selamat sejahtera.
Dan di sebelah sana, masih di studio, Desiree.
Hi, selamat sejahtera.
And hello, Kota Kinabalu. Didi, hi.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. I missed the memo. Why is everybody wearing merah? Macam tak best. Okay lah, tak apalah. Sebab I boleh lah. I yang
lain.
Yes.
Special.
Yang terima kasih. Yeah, special is supposed to be separate and not the same is better. Okay, anyway. Okay, let's start. Okay. Kalau boleh kita buat macam ni. Segmen pertama kita, biasanya kita akan ada break kan? So segmen pertama kita, kalau boleh Nuri nak start dengan fokus kepada bagaimana kalau kita ni di dalam komuniti lah, kita mungkin mengenali seseorang atau keluarga yang mempunyai ahli neurodivergent. So situasi ini mungkin melibatkan jiran tetangga. Mungkin kadang-kadang kita akan pergi tempat-tempat tertentu yang kita kerap pergi, sama ada kita pergi supermarket or maybe there's a club ke apa that you belong to dan kita pergi dan kita pernah nampak, atau yalah kita mengenali, tetapi kadang-kadang bukan kita tak nak menghulurkan bantuan, bukan kita tak nak bersama-sama, but maybe memang secara jujur kita tak berapa pasti macam mana kita dapat membantu, bagaimana kita dapat menyokong, right? So sepanjang perjalanan kita family, so DK family, kita banyak kali telah menyebut tentang perkara-perkara di mana kita mengharapkan satu perubahan. And I think a lot of it we have spoken about big things. Kita telah menyebut tentang apakah yang kita harapkan dapat berubah di tempat kerja supaya peluang terhadap individu-individu neurodivergent mendapat pekerjaan akan bertambah. Kita telah menyebut tentang persekitaran sekolah, tempat-tempat awam, and then of course dari segi dasar ada banyak harapan kita terhadap apa yang boleh berlaku di Malaysia. So today I think we want to just talk about everyday people, and juga ni adalah antara benda yang semua antara berlima dari kami pernah ditanya, like actually how can I help? Right? So who wants to go first?
Okay, I can.
You can. Okay, Anik
can.
silakan.
Okay. Okay, I think saya memang terasa terharu sebab one of the things that I selalu buat dengan Nirav is pergi grocery shopping. Sebab dia pun suka, and saya memang ada list lah. Kadang-kadang tak ikut list masa beli, tapi biasanya ada list supaya tak beli, tak lepas beli benda yang sepatutnya dibeli. Kalau ekstra-ekstra tu tak apa. Tapi Nirav akan tolong. So mula-mula dia memang sukar, and tapi kalau kita pergi kepada tempat yang sama dengan susunan yang sama, the aisles are the same, he gets used to it, then it became easier.
Dari umur berapa tu Anik Nirav dah start temankan Anik pergi supermarket?
Dari time dia umur 10 tahun. 10 atau 11 tahun. Mula-mula dia sebab dia nak beli coklat atau dia nak beli biskut kegemaran. Sebab kadang-kadang bila I balik, and then dia akan pergi tengok dalam grocery punya bag and tak ada benda tu. You didn't buy this? Like, okay. So, I think dah banyak kali dia rasa macam oh my God, if I wait for mommy, it's never going to happen. Let me come along.
He wants to make sure you get the job done.
Yes. Get his job done.
Okay, tapi motivasi dia jelas lah. Sebab dia nak benda favourite dia tu. Okay. So
and benda favourite dia akan tukar-tukar tau. Kadang-kadang benda favourite dia burger, kadang-kadang benda favourite dia sausage roll, kadang-kadang benda favourite dia Vitagen. Setiap minggu tukar. So he started coming along. And I perasan bahawa as time goes by, I can tell him, oh, this is on the list, can you go and get it for me? Dia dah boleh mula timbang kalau nak beli sayur. Dia dah boleh dapatkan label. Daripada dulu I kena ikut dia, keep him in check ni, sekarang I boleh send him, okay, Dutch Lady milk 1 liter, I need 5 boxes. Then dia akan pergi ambil, dia boleh manage the trolley. So a lot of things. And sebab dah semakin besar, dia boleh jadi my manpower to carry. Tak payahlah saya angkut beg-beg berat kan.
So specific Dutch Lady Milk. You ni mengharapkan dia sponsor kita ke apa?
Yalah. Kan anak-anak neurodivergent perlu meminum susu. Menjadi sihat dan kuat.
But we're not fussy on the brand.
We're not.
All are welcome.
Fernley pun boleh.
Okay. Back to
Milo pun boleh.
Cocok. Okay. Minta maaf. Actually, I yang
Sorry.
menimbulkan situasi seperti ini. Minta maaf. Okay, pulling you all back. Kenapa you terharu?
I terharu sebab cashier. Sebab they will watch, right? And kadang-kadang mereka akan tolong dia pack sebab the part of the packing in bags as well, sebab dia yang akan tolong saya buat, and I kan jadi macam military sikit to say, oh tolonglah please masukkan macam ni, arrange macam ni. So after a while mereka akan mula tolong Nirav sebab mereka dah nampak macam mana saya bagi arahan. So mereka akan mula tolong, and when he will say, oh I need help, memang dah ada orang akan tolong dia. And then satu hari ada cashier yang tanya saya, akak, boleh tak saya tanya? Boleh. Macam mana akak train dia? Sebab anak saya pun macam tu, tapi I tak boleh bawa keluar.
kebetulan jumpa cashier yang dalam community tu.
dalam community tu and
Okay.
cashier yang tanya benda tu, and I said kenapa tak boleh bawa keluar? Sebab I tak boleh control. I said boleh, you bagi dia peluang. Mungkin start dengan shopping trip yang 10 minit atau 15 minit, and then semakin lama you boleh ambil list yang panjang sikit and then buat. So sekarang dia kata, tapi I tengok kan kadang-kadang akak kat cashier terlupa something, you hantar dia pergi ambil benda tu, dia tahu ya. Ya, dia tahu.
Tapi berapa tahun tu?
So it's all about exposure and training, but it's nice that in the supermarket pun dia rasa macam happy and they will know.
And cashier yang membantu tu is different cashiers lah kan?
Yes.
Not just that lady because dia ada anak.
No, different cashiers. But
okay.
and I didn't realize because she was always a cashier, so dia tak membantu, yang membantu like somebody else.
Okay.
Orang yang jaga till tu lain, orang yang nak tolong untuk packing tu lain. And then dia tanya I, dia kata dia memang minat corner tu ya. So I didn't realize that they also notice, sebab at the end of the shopping there's one corner which has books and he will go there and browse while waiting in the queue. And then
So diorang macam ambil berat, ingin mengambil tahu, diorang sendiri dah selepas dah lama dapat melihat macam mana Anik membantu Nirav, diorang pun sanggup ambil peranan tu supaya diorang pun dapat bantu dia.
yeah,
That's really cool. So that's great. That's a supermarket scenario.
that's a supermarket scenario.
Okay.
And the power of observation, which I thought was super amazing.
Wonderful. Didi, ada cerita-cerita yang nak tambah senario lain yang mungkin menyentuh hati Didi, pernah terlihat dalam community? I know jiran you di Sabah pun adalah orang yang sangat baik.
Oh, Alhamdulillah dapat jiran dari syurga.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, Alhamdulillah.
Of course kita ceritalah kan, anak kita ada 2 orang autistik, kalau jerit-jerit nangis-nangis minta maaf, so kita dah cerita awal-awal. Terus jiran saya mendoakan semoga dibalas syurga.
Amin.
Dia
Amin.
tak perlu apa-apa pun, kalau just few words of encouragement, few words of ni kan, word of confidence pun dah sejuk hati. Kita sebagai jiran ni kan adalah orang baru, berantau jauh daripada keluarga. Alah, sedihlah pula. Hari ni pun ada cerita yang saya rasa berbesar hati sangat. Tadi petang tadi anak saya terapis dia bawa ke satu event, it's called Sabah Art Festival, happen di sebuah sekolah lah, it's a middle school dekat sinilah di Kota Kinabalu, dan di luar tu ada booth jualan, dan satu booth tu dia jual barang arts yang dijadikan greeting cards, dijadikan stiker, dan sebelah dia ada satu booth lukis muka, sketching lah. Dia boleh sketch muka for 5 minutes terus siap lah dengan marker pen kan. So of course naturally Amy memang minat lah benda-benda macam ni. Jadi dia pun okay, of course nak lah. Cakap mama nak, okay, let her lah. So I talk to the one yang buat stickers tu kan. So dia tanya Amy, okay, your daughter memang sekolah di situ ke? Saya kata tak, kita hanya datang ada aktiviti lah dengan terapis dia pergi ada art exhibition dekat sekolah tu. Dan I pun naturally cakap lah, anak saya autistik, jadi dia tak sekolah biasa, dia pergi datang tadi pun dengan terapis. So dia terus tanya, on the spectrum tu di mana? What level lah kind of kan. So I pun explain sikit-sikit, and then I cakap lah, Amy memang suka arts macam ni. Dan kemudian I tanyalah, macam mana dia produce the greeting cards, the stickers. Selalunya kan kalau some orang yang berniaga ni, dia tak nak cerita trade secret dia, how they produce all this.
Betul.
She was very open and bercerita, and cara dia bercerita, berkongsi macam mana proses nak jadikan tu, dan kemudian tanya minat Amy suka lukis apa semua. Saya tak rasakan dia bertanya tentang seorang budak. Dia seolah-olah bertanya tentang orang yang sama minat dengan dia lah. Memang ketika tu dia tak bercakap terus dengan Amy lah, sebab Amy kan dia tengah posing lah, ada orang nak lukis muka dia kan. Okay, you have the same interest, and macam bila kita lah nak berkawan, bila ada same interest, kita boleh ngam lah kan. So I really appreciate tau orang yang sanggup berkongsi and then dengan rasa terbuka. Lepas tu beritahu Amy, Amy boleh jumpa mereka lagi di booth di bazar yang lain lah. Which yang bazar memang kita selalu pergi pun cuma tak perasan booth mereka. So memang boleh jumpa lagi dan mungkin boleh bawa kakak dia juga untuk lihat artworks lain lah. But interaction tu, lepas tu pun dia tegur juga dengan Amy. And I can feel that it was a very genuine interaction sebab bila dah habis, bila Amy pun dah dapat gambar muka dia pun happy.
Portrait dia.
Gambar cute. Dia cakap apa tau dengan dua orang yang jaga booth tu kan. Dia puji kata, you look pretty. And then dia turn dekat sebelah lagi, you also look pretty. It's a double way lah. Kalau kita tak puji direct, tapi Amy punya cara kan. So kita tahu dia appreciate dia dalam keadaan yang sangat happy, sangat ni. I think this susah nak jadi selalu, and selalunya jadi pun kalau dalam keadaan yang tak ada orang lain, tak busy. Because I know it takes time lah kalau betul-betul tak ada orang lain, tak ada pengunjung, tak ada customer lain, then you boleh bagi extra attention lah. Kalau tak, susah sikit sebab ada senario yang lain, kita pergi bazar juga, bila saya minta anak saya sulung Afia untuk order sebab dia nak beli kan. Jadi nak dia tunjuk lah, dia request lah apa yang dia nak beli kan. Dia cakap lah something but it was quite softly. Tapi orang yang jual kek tu terus pandang saya dan expect saya lah untuk order. Kalau nak katakan Afia tu budak, no, she's almost as tall as me. Dia dah teenager, dah 15 tahun, dah quite grown up lah kan. If only dia sabarlah macam okay, if it's not clear that nak apa, tanya lagi sekali, then I think Afia can repeat it because there were times that dia pergi cafe apa semua and nampak dia order, dia dapat je apa yang dia order. Never like dia pergi cafe dan tak dapat order kan. Maksudnya communication is there. She can do it, tapi kalau orang tak sabar kan, orang tak nak yelah dia dah cuba, dia dah nak bercakap tapi just turn to me and like nak apa. So a bit macam frustrating, tapi yelah the objective is to get the cake. So I'm like okay lah, I just order lah and then like get the cake and hoping that next time that perhaps I can trust Afia to go alone. I tak payah berdiri sebelah dia. Kan? So like orang tu nak tak nak dia, sebab Afia yang nak beli kan. So yeah, I think infantilization I guess.
Didi, can I ask, do you think sebab I noticed this with Niraf, kalau nak pergi macam McDonald's semua ada yang self-service punya panel untuk order, diorang lagi confident daripada nak bersemuka dengan a person across the counter. You rasa tak?
Yes, it's the same as I tanya Afia. I tanya dia, someday would you be confident enough to take public transport? And she said, yes, if it's a bus, not a taxi.
So because I find Niraf macam kalau nak pergi McDonald's ke apa, dia always want to order from the screen daripada pergi ke counter. Because boleh delete, boleh go back, boleh tambah, and you take your time. Nobody rushes you when you are at the panel. And
the look and the way kan orang tengok macam bila tak dengar kan macam kan. Sebagai mak pun rasa uncomfortable. Diorang lagi lah kan. Orang macam rasa macam uneasy towards them.
Okay.
I guess because that panel just gives you a receipt and then you just wait, and then bila panggil nombor pergi ambil lah. Kan senang.
Okay, so memandangkan bahawa social interaction is so let's say for example autistic lah, individu autistic kan. Then one, I think so judging ataupun kita ambil example lah from Didi's story is to be patient, keep your interactions short and simple, but also continue to address the customer as the customer lah.
Yes.
Kan? As opposed to like pandang orang lain or something. If you notice that memang ni adalah seorang yang berbeza sedikit. So, some kind of difference is there. This is what we hope for, right? So, a little bit of patience, a little bit of kindness, and then dalam situasi mungkin kalau dekat fast food restaurant ni memang tak sesuai lah untuk bertanya segala macam thing. But for example macam kat sini macam bazar tu kan, ada peluang untuk berinteraksi, and the fact that you all boleh rasa that dia ikhlas made a big difference. So sungguh pun interaksi dia dengan Amy finally was not a lot. You felt happy that person was taking interest in your life, right? In your family, in your child. Just like you said, like with dengan senario dengan jiran tu pun, bukan nak minta apa-apa pun dari segi bantuan daripada jiran, but for the jiran to wish you well also was something nice, right? So maybe that's like a step kan, to start if you're not sure what to do or what to just sort of express some kind of support, or just be nice or show interest lah. This is what you can do generally in the community, right? If it's there. Okay, Desiree, do you have a story to share?
Yes, I do. In fact, saya ada 2 cerita yang pendek.
Okay.
Because these 2 cerita ni happen few days apart from each other, and one is an example of maybe let's not do that, and one is an example that restored my hope in humanity in that same week. Okay, so cerita yang pertama, saya terpaksa pergi ke bank untuk sign document, and normally signing documents, I think it was my car loan ke, you go to a specific department mana bilik dia kecil sikit, tak ramai orang, so it was a Saturday, so happen particular branch tu memang buka on a Saturday. I didn't have a choice, terpaksa bawa anak kan, sebab suami bekerja. So I went, dalam department tu tak ada orang, just the person who is asking me to sign the documents, me and my son. And dalam bilik tersebut ada banyak kerusi yang most of our kids gemar, which is the roller chair. Boleh pusing-pusing. So he was doing his own thing kan, dia main dengan kerusi, going from one kerusi to the other kerusi, and then he was flapping sebab excited kan. And this lady, I don't know what other word to use than giving the evil eye lah. Macam pandang semacam, like dia pandang dekat Hans, pandang dekat saya, pandang dekat, as if she was
waiting for you to
for me to
Hans.
reprimand him or tell him to stop or tell him not to do. And I wasn't in the best mood that day, so I told myself, Desiree, don't say anything. This is one of those times. Just let it go. Get on with your day and leave the building. So tapi rasa sedih lah. So dalam situasi tersebut memang saya rasa sedih, because we do what we do kan. We go out there, we give talks, we talk about acceptance, inclusion, jangan pandang orang semacam. And here it was a real life situation or something that I keep telling people jangan buat kan. So memanglah rasa sedih, very low.
Dia tak kata apa-apa.
Tak kata apa-apa, but you can see from her face.
Tapi dia wajah dia tu jelas lah.
Yes, it's very clear. And we know kan, I think we've spoken about this before. I think 70% of communication is non-verbal kan. Your gestures, your your facial expressions and all that. So okay, saya balik. And then that particular weekend memang I think those who know me, I am quite active in Kiwanis. So at that point of time memang saya join one of the Kiwanis clubs where they actually raise funds through line dancing. Line bukan Lion. Sebab ada pernah seorang tanya, you are so adventurous Desiree, you go lion dancing. I'm like, no. It's line dancing. So again that weekend my husband bekerja, saya tak okay lah, even though this incident baru happen dekat bank, it's okay, this is a community of people who they all know me, they know my family. Bawa lah Hans. So and it happened to be in the Down syndrome school punya hall. Right? So it's a day 1 yang ada pentas, ada curtain. So he was just running around, dah lah ada music, he was so happy. And
masa tu dia umur berapa ya?
This was last year, 8 tahun.
8 tahun, okay.
And everyone was completely unfazed. They were happy that he came. Tak ada siapa pun tegur or pandang semacam that he was rolling around in the curtain, golek-golek on the stage. And the reason why I want to share this particular story is because one of our past governor for Kiwanis, she saw me and Hans, memang dah kenal from my pictures and my postings on social media and all that. Dia datang terus kepada Hans and went directly to him, although I'm standing right next to him, and she went, "Hi Hans, I'm Rosemary. Can I shake your hand?" And Hans was like, then she said, okay, how about a high five? Dia bagi high five and Hans went on his way. And dalam that moment kan, I felt so touched because it was one of the first few moments where I felt that he was acknowledged as him. Bukan sebagai anak Desiree or anak autistic or no. Just as one human being meeting another human being. So
He was seen.
yeah, he was seen as himself. And also, on the part of the person who approached him, memanglah she saw him as him. Tak, like some people I know, I mean, sometimes people, dia nak tegur anak kita tetapi takut or khawatir. So they come to us first. But in this instance, I really appreciated that she went straight to my son and said hello.
And she's not like a close friend or anything like that. She's not somebody you work with all the time in Kiwanis and she's seen Hans before.
No, that was the first time she's met him in person, but she's heard of him. I know her. We, have worked on various things as an acquaintance. So she's heard of him. She knows who he is, but first time meeting him.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
We like these stories.
Yes.
Oh, and Nori, don't you have one?
Oh, don't I have one? Situasi atau adegan yang tidak ingin kita lihat. Seperti meltdown yang berlaku mungkin kat shopping center atau di tempat awam lah. Right? I think this is not a totally 100% unusual scenario. Mungkin akan berlaku. I know it has happened to some of us antara kita berlima pun. And I like that you gave one example, Desiree, of like apa yang maybe janganlah kita buat. So maybe I can also do like the what should we not do and maybe what we can try to do. So for example, katalah ada senario di mana kita nampak seorang kanak-kanak atau individu mengalami meltdown. Now meltdown ni kalau boleh saya menyebut lain sedikit daripada tantrum, and I think we have mentioned that in the previous episode before. So just nak ulang balik, meltdown ni biasanya satu situasi di mana individu yang mengalami meltdown dia sudah tidak dapat mengawal diri atas sebab-sebab tertentulah. Mungkin sensory overload, mungkin ada dalam situasi di mana dia sudah merasa cemas, anxiety, dia dah rasa tahap dia dapat mengawal keadaan tertentu tu dah tak ada. So it's like a survival mode. The brain shuts down. The shutdown is actually the survival, but the other part of the brain, which is here scientifically, it's at the back. You get into fight, flight, freeze, of course there are other scenarios, but this is like the common one. I want to talk about the one where there's like you totally shut down. So mungkin akan terduduk atau tergolek-golek di atas lantai. Mungkin anak akan menangis atau meronta, nampak macam memang tak dapat mengawal diri lah. I think many parents, tak kira lah ada anak neurodivergent ke tidak, kita tahu di mana, kita akan, kalau kita ada pengalaman, kita tahu di mana tantrum berlaku, iaitu satu keadaan di mana anak sedang cuba mengawal situasi dan nak menunjukkan bahawa dia marah atau tidak puas hati, so akan keluarlah tingkah laku perangai yang tertentu to try to get something that they want, right? And I think a lot of parents can sort of identify.
Yes.
So if you are clear and you know and you can see that a meltdown is happening, so maybe we'll start with the what not to do first. Please don't stand around and stare. Janganlah pergi berhampiran, tak nak buat apa-apa tapi nak tengok. This is very classic, unfortunately, again, Malaysian behaviour. Kita suka pandang-pandang and lama pula tu, and of course like as Desiree say, try to manage your face a bit lah. Yelah, sungguh pun mungkin kita terkejut, mungkin itu satu keadaan di mana kita memang tak nak lihat. Then especially also if you cannot control your face, please, and you are not ready to help, please move on.
Yep.
Yeah, please move away. Now, worse still is if you start making loud comments, right? Cannot help yourself, terus macam, apa tu? Dia ni tak tahu nak jaga anak dia, kenapa dia bawa anak dia keluar, things like that. It's like, look, trust me, kalau kita parents, anak kita macam tu, benda-benda tu dah memang terlintas pada fikiran kita sendiri. Kita pun tahu, kita pun dah terasa bersalah dan kita pun dah start thinking, you know, that kind of thing will also come to our thoughts. So kita tidak memerlukan siapa-siapa untuk menyebut dan ingatkan kita bahawa mungkin kita yang bersalah and things like that. Okay. So that's of course the worst possible thing you can do, which is to comment without doing anything. So don't stare, don't comment please. Kalau tidak dapat atau tak sanggup membantu, please go on lah. You know, just carry on, go and do whatever it is you datang to the shopping centre for. Okay. If you want to help and you are able to help, what are the things you can do? Okay.
So lagi satu Nori. Lagi satu, jangan record and viralkan.
Yes. Sounds good. Gambar
yes,
atau
of
video,
course.
please. Yeah.
Thank you, Didi.
That
Okay,
is so important.
definitely don't do that, especially if it's
circulate
a
on
child
social media,
involved.
Anyone, even if it's an adult.
Yeah.
Even if it's an adult.
Well, definitely if it's an adult, but I think you know, whatever the scenario is and the case, yeah, don't record. Yeah, don't record, don't share. It's this is going to be hard because this is such, you know, a habit of things that we kind of do, but whether it is a meltdown or not, I think generally you shouldn't be recording
Someone
things
else.
lah.
Someone else.
In general, I think we over record.
Yes.
As a society, I think we just pull out our videos too quickly to record you know, things that we really don't need to capture. Okay, thank you so much, Didi. Yes, that was an important one that I missed. Okay, so don't stare, don't comment, don't record. Move on, please. Okay, if you want to help and you are able to help, so it's like, you know, two different scenarios. You can first assess the situation and you can look and see what it is that might be helpful. So sebagai contoh, mungkin the mother is alone or it's a small family and there's maybe like a lot of shopping bags. Okay, so you could offer to hold the bags or carry the bags so that the parent can or whoever it is, a family member, can attend to that individual, right? You can go up and if there's a moment you can actually say, would you like some help? And so you are actually asking, how is it that you can help? So that's why kita sebut sanggup dan boleh lah. Ya, kalau kita tak berapa pasti macam mana nak bantu, tak payah nak tolong actually. It's okay. You know, you can just leave them or give them some space. Ataupun mungkin panggil lah kalau mall ada customer service or support or somebody. If you think that they should be helped but you don't know how, of course you can call somebody else. But, you know, keep it very simple. Something like that. Look at the situation. Is there something very obvious that you can help? Then you can help. And then if you have the opportunity untuk bertanya, apakah yang perlu? So mungkin orang tu akan bagi tahu lah. Mungkin dia akan kata, pass the phone and say, please help me call somebody. Kan? They say, okay, this is, can you call my husband? You know, there's a situation here. So that's something that you can do. So of course this is more of like an unexpected situation. But if I can round up and we finish off this first part of segment 1 is to, I think it's a message yang kita memang selalu dengar lah, you know, be kind. Right? Be kind. So kalau ternampak somebody is coming to your shop, okay, give them a little bit of extra time. Kalau kita dah biasa tengok family tu pun datang sekali dengan you know, ke you know, pusat riadah kita ke, let's say our gym or some place that your kid goes, then you know, just show some interest, be friendly, and I think it's just trying to be somebody who is I would say, you know, compassionate.
And not judgmental.
Yeah. Not judgmental, betul. Jangan cepat sangat kita nak menghakimi seseorang tu. Dan just remember what are the things that kita sendiri appreciate kalau orang datang kepada kita. I think we keep it as simple as that. So it's not that hard. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to feel like, oh, I don't know how to approach, I cannot speak or whatever. Macam seperti Desiree dah sebut tadi, um, happy sebenarnya ada orang nak datang, tegur Hans. Bukan nak and sometimes the scenario is tak tegur langsung. Tak tegur langsung. Satu, kadang-kadang memang betul-betul dia rasa takut atau dia macam tak yakin. Tapi kadang-kadang memang macam tak perlu tegur lah. Nak tegur apa ni, budak ni tak faham apa-apa pun. Apa nak tegur dia, tegur mak dia je lah. That is also unfortunate. So don't be dismissive as well. Yeah. So a lot of very, very simple things that can be done. Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back very soon. Thanks. Selamat kembali ke episod ke-40. Kita dengan segmen kedua. Topik kita family pada hari ini ialah bagaimana kita semua boleh menjadi seseorang yang dapat menyokong dan membantu individu-individu neurodivergent ataupun keluarga yang mempunyai ahli neurodivergent. So segmen yang pertama tadi we spoke about untuk siapa pun, so dalam community, sebagai jiran, siapa-siapa yang kita jumpa dalam aktiviti seharian kita. Now segmen kedua ni, this is for family and friends. So kita nak menyebut tentang peranan ahli keluarga dan juga kawan lah, sahabat. Betul-betul menjadi seorang kawan. So kenapa kita asingkan grup ni? Because sebenarnya kami semua amat memerlukan anda. You are close, ada hubungan yang boleh dianggap rapat, terutama yang keluarga lah. Keluarga ni termasuk kalau katalah kita adalah seorang pak saudara, mak saudara, sepupu ke, and then kalau kawan ni memang sahabat lah. So we're not talking about a scenario where jumpa dengan stranger, just being polite ataupun jiran ke apa-apa macam tu. Tetapi untuk mereka yang memang sudah rapat. I saw just a couple of days ago, I think it was on one of my social media feeds, posting lah daripada seorang parent lah, I think it's a mom, and dia memang post lah tentang family dia, ada anak neurodivergent. So post ni memang sangat saya pun macam tersentak sekejap lah, agak emosi juga melihat posting ni, sebab posting dia mengatakan bila kita mempunyai seorang anak, dan kita semua tahu ya tentang macam ungkapan yang menyebut bahawa it takes a village to raise a child, ya. Kita memerlukan macam sebuah kampung lah dalam kita nak membesarkan anak. So apatah lagi kalau anak kita adalah seorang yang OKU, neurodivergent, atau seorang yang memerlukan sokongan tambahan. So you need your village to be even bigger, right? So we have talked about this. Sesiapa yang memang kerap mendengar dan mengikuti KFM dah tahu this is one of our messages. So dalam back to this post, this lady dia kata, we expect that we have a village and we hope that our village is even bigger for our neurodivergent child. But what actually happened to us is our village got smaller. Kita dah kurang berjumpa dengan kawan-kawan, orang tidak lagi undang, hantar jemputan untuk join apa-apa aktiviti. Memang tanya khabar pun tidak, so that was really very sad. But we do know of those scenarios. So people sort of kind of stay away. I remember my own friend once, there's a friend I was talking to, he said after we had our son, we felt that suddenly we really knew who our friends were. There's a different category of friends lah. I'm not trying to say that you are now not going to be a friend because you have not helped. Bukan seperti itu. Tapi macam seolah-olah siapa yang memang boleh menjadi seorang yang betul-betul dapat membantu menjadi sebahagian lah daripada kehidupan kita, ya. So yes, there's a lot of expectations to this. We have different things to sort of share. I want to start with Didi kali ni, ya. Didi, can you begin about some things that a family member or friend can do to really be supportive and show that they are part of this, they are with you in our community, in our lives?
Masa anak saya mula-mula dapat diagnosis dan kita terus nak mulakan hantar pergi terapi kan. Jadi masa tu dapat terapi 3 kali seminggu dan terapi kita nak hantar pada hari weekdays lah. So saya memang tak bekerja. So nak tunggu suami ambil cuti, takkan tiap-tiap minggu 3 hari seminggu nak cuti kan. So jadi saya perlulah drive sendiri, walaupun masa tu dah lama ada lesen kereta, lesen memandu, tapi hanya memandu di sekitar berdekatan saja. Maksudnya macam lesen tu tak laku masuk KL lah. Memang issues lah. Tapi alhamdulillah ketika tu saya ada seorang kawan baik yang kenal waktu di sekolah sejak umur 16 tahun. Kebetulan masa tu dia berada di KL untuk sambung pengajian masters dan dia punya timetable agak fleksibel lah sebab kelas dia tak banyak. Jadi dia ada beberapa kali, I think banyak kali juga masa permulaan tu dia offer untuk teman saya bawa anak, sebab walaupun masa tu baru anak sulung yang diagnose, tapi kena bawa lah juga anak yang nombor 2 kan. Anak nombor 2
Kecil lagi.
Alfia 3 tahun, baru masuk 3 tahun, adik baru setahun lebih, baru boleh jalan macam tu. So toddler kan, 2 toddler, 1 dah confirm autism. So kita dalam keadaan tak faham kan macam mana nak make things better, macam mana nak buat lebih mudah dikawal. Tapi you're talking about 2 toddlers, autistic or not, memang susah, betul tak?
Yap.
Pergi mana-mana pun.
Satu
Jadi
toddler pun susah.
Nak setornado.
dia teman saya, so saya drive, saya pick her up dekat rumah dia. Jadi dia teman, sebab yang susahnya bila kita dah parking dan nak pergi ke bilik terapi tu quite a walk lah kan. Yang tu yang susah tu, daripada rumah masuk kereta sendiri itu tak ada masalah. Tapi beberapa hari lah dia yang membantu, dia yang help me process the diagnosis. Walaupun masa tu sama-sama pun tak faham sangat. Kita pun macam autism ni macam mana sebenarnya, apa masa depan macam mana, memang tak faham. Tapi having someone with you waktu anak dalam bilik terapi and you dekat luar dengan baby lah juga, akhirnya baru setahun lebih kan. Help, because kalau dekat rumah waktu suami bekerja memang kita seorang-seorang kat rumah, memang banyak fikir lah. Bila di hospital anak sedang terapi kan, lagilah kita mulalah berfikir benda-benda yang yalah, it can either go positive or negative or kan. So really appreciate lah masa tu my friend Diana, from now she's in Penang. Thank you Diana for being there with me at the most difficult time of my life. And I really believe that semua orang patut ada kawan macam tu lah. Like kita takkan nak tunggu fellow autism parents je yang boleh faham kita kan. Dan kadang-kadang dalam keadaan sama-sama tak faham bersama dengan tak faham berseorangan, bila ada kawan tu things would be lighter lah kan. So
Misery loves company.
Oh yes, sure does.
So sebenarnya mungkin ramai yang tak tahu macam nak support. So I think Desiree pun pernah cakap dulu, kalau you tak tahu, you cakap tak tahu. Tapi at the same time, kalau kita semakin faham tentang neurodivergent, tentang keperluan kepelbagaian hidup manusia ni, tiap-tiap orang pun berbeza, then kita boleh tanya the right questions. Sebab of course early diagnosis masa mula-mula tu kan, parents sendiri pun overwhelmed. Tapi sebagai keluarga, sebagai sahabat, say like if you want to offer, tadi kita ada discuss juga pasal apa, tak semestinya menjaga anak tu sendiri, but other things. Sebab hidup kita ni bukan sekadar menjaga anak kan. So what are other things that boleh ni, kita tanyalah apa boleh kita bantu. Dan juga kalau kita nak offer untuk babysit, sebab of course kita nak beri peluang untuk sahabat kita yang ada anak autistik ke anak neurodivergent untuk rehat kan, kita nak bagi dia time. Antara benda-benda yang kita tanyalah, okay, apa yang anak tu suka, dia tidur, kalau dia tidur dia perlukan apa rutin harian dia makan apa. So kita selalu takut, I think among autism parents pun, kita nak jaga anak autism yang lain pun, kita pun macam tak berapa confident, macam boleh ke tak boleh. It takes a lot lah untuk macam yakin I can take care of your child anytime. But if you,
Tapi Didi boleh.
Jadi boleh.
I have experienced that. Didi has a big tick.
Sebab ada anak 2 orang, so I think lebih lagi lah. So kalau anak seorang, satu anak autism dengan satu lagi anak autism tak sama kan. So you have to ask the right questions lah. Maksudnya checklist tu, anak tu okay, kalau dia menangis, dia perlukan apa? Macam mana nak tenangkan dia? Dia suka apa? Takut
Common sense lah actually kan. Just ambil tahu lah. Just make sure to make the effort ambil tahu. Yeah.
Yes. Jangan macam okay, I jaga je, macam terus terjun and sanggup nak jaga. You have to do a bit of preparation lah.
But the willingness is appreciated. Anik, why don't you jump in now? I don't know whether you want to.
Yeah, I do because
share the Didi bit or your
Didi
other
was
thing.
very supportive when I was in Kota Kinabalu earlier this year, because I had to run a workshop with some colleagues on a professional basis, and she came and picked both Nirav and my youngest Sahana, and she had them for half the day, and I was relieved that my kids were in good hands and they really enjoyed themselves. And they came back and said it was so fun. So Auntie Didi did an amazing job, and so did her 2 neurodivergent girls for being excellent hosts to 2 kids that they had probably for the first time been spending that much time with. So
And
kudos.
also, yeah, they were kakaks to Sahana, right?
They were kakas to
they were
Sahana and
two.
taught her how to
Yeah.
play video games. So that was really, really awesome.
So nice.
It was. And I do want to also say that, okay, apa yang boleh buat tu macam Didi kata tanya, tapi apa yang please don't do is cuba compare. You know, I heard it from family. I heard it to say, oh jadi satu anak masuk universiti, satu lagi tak ya? You know, that kind of thing was it's not something you want to hear. Or it was insinuated that, oh, it's easier for you now, you only have to save for one less tertiary education. But it was it's just the way it is said. So no, please don't do that. Some neurodivergent kids can go to tertiary, and you know, they just need extra support, and they might need more time in tertiary, so you have to save more for them. But you know, these kind of comments are just not what you want to hear as a parent. Even as a parent, if you don't have a neurodivergent child, if someone is judging your child for some lack of learning abilities or academic knowledge, you would feel it. So what more a neurodivergent parent? So don't say that. But I have to acknowledge that my late mum was an extreme support, who used to come with me each time we used to go to the developmental peds, and she used to take notes because she would see me scribbling down, and after one time she said to me, can you listen to the doctor? I will take the notes, because I was so kanchong, right? I was worried, and I would want to write so that I didn't forget something, and I think she noticed that one day she said, listen, I will take notes, you talk to the doctor, you ask the questions, this is your chance to
So
interact.
helpful, kan?
Yeah. And I really appreciated that, because I didn't even realize I was so intensely taking notes. Yeah. But I think it's because as a parent you want to do your best, and you know, you have such limited time with the doctor that you know, you don't want to miss anything, and that's the best way
of course. And but yeah, she stepped in beautifully. Not just as a teman, she was doing something very practical. Okay, Desiree.
Okay, so after
Sorry, I'm jumping a bit
It's okay.
before we all get it's very easy to get emotional
on
here, I
this
think.
one. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, a
but,
heavy topic.
Very true.
Come, Desiree, I know you have a lot to share. I can tell a story on behalf of you of how extended family has supported, but
Yeah.
you know, of course, your own voice is always appreciated. Silakan.
Terima kasih. So I was just reminded of my best friend, and you know, obviously she knew about our journey from the start. So bila Hans diagnosed with autism, I cerita kat dia. 2 months later, my husband's cancer, I cerita kat dia, and you know, and then I think it was about a year later, I was having one of those moments. I was saying, you know, kenapa orang-orang ni so and so, you know, the minute I mentioned cancer, and she just flew off my radar. One of our, close friends as well. We all went to college together, and then I was like, it's upsetting, and then I really appreciate my friend because she told me, she's like, you know what, D, she calls me D. To be honest, even I didn't know how to talk to you for a while. And then it hit me that sometimes orang tak sengaja sebenarnya tak nak bercakap dengan kita. They need to find the strength within themselves because diorang pun rasa sedih on our behalf. So everyone deals with it differently lah. So I think firstly I want to say is sometimes bagilah benefit of the doubt to those who were really close to us and don't know how to talk to us.
Hilang sekejap ke?
Yeah, hilang sekejap. Yes, I like that. Hilang sekejap. But I really appreciate this friend of mine because she was brave enough to tell me, I really didn't know how to talk to you. But then my reply to her was, so on this end now, as the parent of a neurodivergent child, I said, but you never left me, even though you didn't know what to say or what to do. Right? And so yeah, she's one of those who I can rely on. In fact, baru-baru ni, I was, in one of my moments, I'm like, alamak, I think dah 3 hari Desiree tak basuh rambut. Then she, randomly texted me in the evening and said, hey, what are you doing now? I want to pop by. And I'm like, no, jangan. My house is like in disarray today. Jangan. I can't entertain you. I can't talk to you. And her response, it really brought tears to my eyes. She's like, I just wanted to come and sit down in your house with your kids so that you could go have a proper shower.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. I'm like, and it wasn't even that memang tak berpeluang nak mandi betul-betul or whatever. It's just that I got caught up in my schedule that I didn't tell myself, okay, Desiree buat benda ni. So she gave minta tolong which I could within my house juga, kan? So I was like, okay, I promise I'll wash my hair and I'll take a picture and send it to you. So that's one of those
But
things.
that is super love.
Exactly, yeah. So Shamini, I know you watch us once in a while. Thank you. I love you. Thanks for always being there. And another story is of a fellow parent as well. Also has a neurodivergent child. I met her when getting to know the community and all that. And whenever I do online events or talks or training, so she's my food person. So she'll be like, Desiree, just give me your address. So she already has my address. So she randomly sends me food to my house. If she knows like I have a talk or a seminar for the day, she's like, okay, since Hans is already taken care of by the dad, let me feed you. So that's another thing that you can do as well. You don't have to physically send stuff. I think from the pandemic we have learned how to use all these
different apps,
different things. So you can use these apps and these powers for good.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I need to say that actually people in the community are curious.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, do step forward because our kids actually do like it when people speak to them. And they may not respond in the way that you expect them to, but trust me, later on, they will come and tell us, somebody said hi or that person said hi. And it means something to them. Or that person made us feel happy. And if a neurodivergent kid starts flapping, they are happy or they're self-regulating. But that doesn't mean that you don't say hi. So this is an encouragement to everybody out there. Even if you say hi and you don't get a response, I'm sure it touches someone. So do try it.
Definitely.
That would be really appreciated.
Yes.
I think for me, maybe this is a shout out to my brother and my brother-in-law. The early years masa Timur mula-mula start pergi ke OT, occupational therapy or terapi cara kerja, right? Yang volunteer untuk membawa Timur sama ada sekali dengan saya pada masa tu ataupun lepas tu dia pun dah rasa selesa dia sendiri yang bawa tanpa saya is my brother-in-law. So that's like Babadi. And it's not even directly my brother-in-law, it's like my husband's sister's husband. But of course, our family is quite small, so we're close. So yeah, Babadi, thank you so much. and they built a really wonderful bond. So Babadi and Timo had their their own little bond, and he did that for like I think nearly 3 years, twice a week. His job afforded him that flexibility, of course, but he decided that was his contribution, and it was great. Now, my brother pula, dalam adik-beradik, I only have my brother. Kita 2 orang aja. And he is, is different kind of guy. Not, not so directly hands-on with Timo. But his way of supporting was that when I first had the kids gym, we created a program called Therapy Through Play. So program ini adalah untuk membantu keluarga, terutama ibu bapa, dengan memberi mereka kemahiran, keyakinan dan program yang sesuai untuk anak supaya dapat melakukan aktiviti berkisahkan terapi bersama-sama dengan anak. So it's the building skills and the confidence together. So we wanted to be able to also support families yang tak mampu. So katalah keluarga pada peringkat B40 and things like that. So pada mulanya bila kita bayangkan nak cuba program ni, kita cubalah. Biasanya when we want to start something, you ask for support or donations and things like that from keluarga terdekat atau kawan-kawan. So my brother went a step further and he was the fundraiser.
Oh, wow.
He is the one that I think he took a bunch of his friends out to lunch or something, and he said, Nuri is doing this. All of you sponsor one child. Yeah. And he
Why
said
not?
this gym
Yeah.
they built this gym for my nephew, and now they're going to help other people, and so that's his way. So I had 2 different things, and then I have another brother-in-law actually. This is one of my younger stepsister's brother. So he is like, he'll just kind of be there for like the simple things. Like he goes, okay, there's this thing coming up. Are you okay? Can you come? Shall we pick you up? Yeah, is everything okay with me? And then, and then sometimes when Timur sees him, he's always like, hi, bye, or he'll be telling people to go. Unfortunately, because all of my family members, he'll welcome them. And then at this moment, his face is like to halau them. So he's like, hi, Uncle E, or bye-bye, Uncle E, or Uncle E, like, get something for me. Something is just, just incredibly patient. And we'll just kind of lion him and, we'll know. And just actually, I'm just focusing on the boys for the moment. But of course, my sisters, I'll talk about you in another episode. They've been there for me too. But yeah, family support can come in many different ways. So, there's a lot, I think. I think if I can sum up, everybody can play their part.
Can I just say that I hope more people are listening, and this Deepawali, I was told by one of my cousin-in-law, and she said that since listening to Kita Family, she now knows how to interact with Nirav, and she has meaningful conversations with him. So I hope
Through you speaking in public rather than speaking to you.
Yes.
That's cool.
So
Okay.
maybe we didn't have that much time to interact, and it's always like big family functions, and you have probably like 5 minutes before somebody else comes and interrupts. So I
Get the
think
chance. Yeah, no, I think we would love to say that. Didi, any last words from KK?
Well, betul lah kita perlukan sokongan daripada family, daripada kawan-kawan sebab life is hard, and kita sebagai family neurodivergent pun jangan lupa untuk menyokong sama ada family-family neurodivergent lain ataupun family kita sendirilah bila ada mereka yang ada anak masih kecil, whatever support that we can do lah, because help and support are both ways. Kita tak bolehlah menerima saja, kita pun boleh memberi. Apa yang kita boleh tolong, kita boleh bantu, kita bantu dengan bukan nak kata kita berkira, tak, tapi sama-sama kita doakan dalam kita mudahkan kehidupan orang lain, Tuhan akan memudahkan kehidupan kita juga, insya-Allah.
InsyaAllah. Yeah. That's a good note to end on. Okay. All right,
Can
everybody.
I add one?
Oh, you
little
want? Of
tidbit?
course. Please
Sorry,
do.
a very
Yeah,
quick
yeah,
one
it's okay.
because I've said this before, but I think in this episode I need to say it again that while we want to encourage people to support us, our community, our children's community, we as parents, we also need to allow people to support us. Kalau orang nak membantu, jangan segan silu. Don't say, oh tak payah, oh I can do it. Jangan takut. Don't be afraid to accept help. Because if we, don't allow them that chance to help, then we are creating a cycle where people takut nak bantu.
No, it's true. I have this lovely friend, Intan. Intan, I miss you. This is my one way of saying I miss you. I haven't seen you in months. So she is a very good friend now. Tapi tak adalah macam at that point in time when she offered this, tak adalah rapat macam berbanding dengan some of my school friends. Alhamdulillah, I'm very lucky I have some friends yang kita dah berkawan lebih daripada 30 tahun. So really, really long time. But at that point in time, kita ada mutual good friend. That's how we were introduced. But I think we had started our friendship only fairly early, and I don't know, had it even been a year at that point, but she was like, Timo needs to have many different places that he's comfortable with. Bawa je rumah I. And I was like, nobody had offered at that time that was not a family member.
Wow.
Nobody.
Amazing.
Yeah. She said, if you're busy, maybe send his nanny over. Yeah, but she said, come and let me know. I know kadang-kadang these kids have different allergies and things like that, right? Dia kata, ada je rumah I was...
Speechless.
I was speechless. And initially I didn't know. I almost wanted to go, but then I was like, well, what a wonderful thing. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, so many things, many things that can be done. So okay, thank you everybody. I think it's a nice way to wrap up episode yang ke-40. Seperti biasa, kita nak meminta semua orang supaya please share, like, comment. When you comment, kita akan respond. We have made or chosen to do some episodes before atas komen-komen yang telah diberikan. Selain daripada YouTube dan Spotify, kami juga di Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So please, interact with us. We hope to see you there. Keep following, listening to Kita Family, and we hope this episode was also useful. Terima kasih. Bye.
Bye.